Myskja. She's from the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy in Norway. She's been working there for 12 years, and especially with CCS since 2011. So please.
Thank you, Ragnhild. And thanks so much to the conference committee for inviting me. It's always nice to get out there and tell people about what you do. I really love that. So that's great. So let's see if we can get my presentation up. Because I'm here to tell you about CCS and carbon capture and storage in Norway. And in Norway, we've worked with CCS for many, many, many years. And we have 20 years of experience with CCS, actual storing CO2 in the Sleipner field in the North Sea. And I think Anders Lyngfeld also pointed at this at his presentation. And we're also doing it at the Snøhvit field up in the Barents Sea. So we know that storing CO2 is safe and it's possible. And that's important. The Norwegian CCS strategy was presented in the fall of 2014, and it encompasses a wide range of activities. We're engaged in different parts of the innovation chain, all from R&D with the climate program. We have research centers for environmental friendly energy, and we're also taking part in different EU programs. And we have a technology center at Myskja that can test CO2 capture technologies in a pilot scale, which is really important. And then what I'm going to tell you about today is what we do on a full scale or industrial scale project. And we have worked on that since 2015, doing studies to try to present an actual project for the Parliament to make an investment decision. And the Norwegian CCS demonstration project is now with 2 capture projects. It has a transport solution by ship, and then we're studying a CO2 storage on the west coast of Norway with a pipeline solution to a storage site. And we presented actually last week, so this is news. We presented in the spring budget to the Parliament the government's latest position on the project, and we got funds, or they're asking for funds from the Parliament to fund this through FEED, which is the last phase until we reach investment decision. And so on the capture side, we have Norcem, or Heidelberg, which is a part of the Heidelberg Cement Group. It's cement production, and we can capture 400,000 tons of CO2 per year. And then you have Fortum Oslo Varme, which is waste incineration with the CHP plant, and where we can capture 350,000 tons of CO2 per year. And I know to others these can seem like small numbers, but one of the problems in a way in Norway is that we don't have these huge emission sources on land. We have a huge petroleum sector with a lot of emissions, but in the industrial sector, these are sort of the numbers that we're working with. And what we've stated to the Parliament is that we want to proceed with Norcem, and then we have got some information from Fortum that we need to make a quality assurance of before we can sort of decide finally. But we've asked for funds for both these projects from the Parliament. The role of the authorities in this project is to provide risk alleviation for industrial actors, so that we work as kind of a pillow between the capture side and the storage side. This has been pointed out as one of the big hurdles for the industry to do CCS, is that sort of to do capture and storage is difficult. And we are also establishing the regulatory framework, and we are coordinating the chain. Yes, I've done this. So the main objective for this project is to generate experience for subsequent projects. And the thing is that these are high numbers. And there are different opinions on whether this is expensive. But the government has stated that we need to weigh this against other climate measures at FID, and we need to show, and this is important, for this project to actually be realized, we need to show that there are subsequent projects out there that can learn from this project and that can learn so that we can take the costs down for the next project. Because as you can see here, and these are cost estimates at this stage in the planning phase. The transport and storage estimates are less mature than on the capture side. The capture numbers are plus minus 30%. There are economies of scale in the transport and storage solutions, and the capture facility costs, as I've called them here, it includes not just the capture, but also conditioning, liquefying, local transport to harbor, and storage on harbor. So everything before you put the CO2 on the ship. And what you see in million euros is that for the Norcem case, the capex is 344 million euros, and for the Fortum Oslo Varme case, it's roughly 500 million euros. That's the numbers that we've presented in the budget. So these are a lot of money. This is a lot of money, but hopefully we can prove to the Parliament in a couple of years' time that it will be worth it. And then the timeline. We will start FEED, which is front-end engineering and design. So this is the last phase before we reach investment decision this summer. And then we need a quality assurance process to prepare investment decision, and that will take place 2019-2020. And then we can present this to the Storting, our parliament, and the industrial actors for an investment decision 2020-2021. And then you will have the development phase, and then it can be in operation from 2023-2024. So that's the timeline we're working with. We have a year and a half, roughly, to make this project irresistible. And then, hopefully, we can make it happen. And if we open for business, we would need others to follow. That's very important for us. Our aim for a CCS project in Norway is to demonstrate a full chain of capture, transport, and storage of CO2, to demonstrate that CO2 capture can be done in existing industry, and not just in the power sector, but that this is actually necessary in the cement industry, in waste incineration, which is even BECCS. We establish a flexible storage solution with excess capacity. And that means that we can also take CO2 from other sources and store it in the same place. And we hope to provide cost and risk reductions for subsequent CCS projects. So that if there are any projects out there that want to come and learn from our project, please come, because this is very important for us to be able to make sure that the experience and the knowledge and the learnings that we get from this project is actually disseminated. And as the Norwegian government sees it, CCS is necessary to meet international climate target in a cost-efficient manner. It will require political and financial support to develop the technology. And as Matthias, I think his name was, said earlier today, transport of CO2 across border for storage purpose could be necessary, and then the amendments to the London Protocol must enter into force for it to be able across countries. So what Sweden can start with is to actually ratify the amendment to the London Protocol. Then we're one step further. And this is for us, in a way, to make this project happen. This is important. And if we open for business, we would need others to follow it. So we have interesting years ahead. Hopefully we can make it happen. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Any questions?